show is silent.
You know, when I woke up this morning, the last thing on my mind was a Helluva Boss Hazbin Hotel collab, but here we are, so let's talk about it. Alright, how's it going, boys and girls? So it's been a little while since my last Helluva Boss or Hazbin Hotel video, and look, that is completely my fault and I apologize for it. I've been too busy slacking off, being lazy, playing video games, which as a YouTuber, I should really get back to doing my job, you know, the one that pays my bills. And funny enough, I was literally just working on my next video, which is going to be a pretty long one covering season 1 of Hazbin Hotel. But while I was researching for that video, I literally came across the most unexpected collab and announcement from the official Hazbin Hotel page. Now, ignoring the fact that the animation in this announcement is clean as hell, like say what you want about VisiPop shows, but the animation is never lacking. But moving on from that, there were two things that were discussed in this announcement that I felt like were pretty big. They were pretty newsworthy, and honestly, I just kind of want to talk about it in a quick video with you guys. So to start this off, probably the most shocking and most important announcement to come from this video is that Helluva Boss will now be airing on Amazon Prime. And when I found this out, I was in genuine disbelief, not just because it completely blindsided me, like I didn't even think this was going to be something that they would do, but also because of how much impact this will have on the animation industry. Now look, y'all already know I am not the biggest fan of Hazbin Hotel. It didn't always used to be like that. At one point in time, I was genuinely a fan of the show, mainly around season 1. But season 2 is really where it started to be agonizing for me to watch, and in all honesty, look, I've been vocal. I don't rock with the show anymore. Like, I just can't do it. But with that being said, I think this is good. I think this is not only good, I think this is great for not only the show, but the animation industry in general. Despite what a lot of people like to say, VisiPop did kind of spark the whole indie animation wave. Now look, that's not me saying that she did it first. Obviously, people have been making animations online independently for a long time now, and independent studios like Glitch Productions were also around the same time as her. But the release and massive success of the Hazbin Hotel pilot as well as Helluva Boss did cause a lot of people to focus more into indie animation. Even YouTubers like LS Mark went on to say that because of the Hazbin Hotel pilot, it opened his eyes to see that there are other routes to go about creating an animated show outside of the traditional corporate route. Whether you love VisiPop or you hate her, it is kind of undeniable that she did influence a lot of aspiring artists and animators by showing them that you can make your own show by yourself while also having it be successful. And I feel like Helluva Boss going to Amazon Prime just opens the door more for more independent animated series, because while it was announced that Helluva Boss will be going to Amazon Prime, it will still air on YouTube, it will still be produced independently, and VisiPop will still have 100% control of the product. And this is very similar to the Amazing Digital Circus that has the exact same deal, just with Netflix. Now these are two of the biggest and most well-known indie animated series on the internet, so the fact that they're able to stay independent while also getting paid to be on a major streaming service is groundbreaking, because if they can do this with enough internet series, they just completely unlocked a new way for creators to put shows into the industry. Imagine you and a small team of people are working together to create your own show. Over time, you build up your own fan base, you drop a pilot, the pilot takes off getting over 3 million views, you start working episode by episode, every episode is getting over 1 million views, and then one day you wake up and you get an email from HBO Max saying, hey, we like your show, let us pay you for the licensing rights so we can have your show air on our network. That is actually insane and looking more like a possibility day by day. So even if I'm not the biggest fan of Helluva Boss, I love that this is happening to the show, and I love what this could mean for the industry going forward. And I think one of the coolest announcements about Helluva Boss coming to Prime is that it was also announced that we will be getting collabs between both of the shows, which even I'm a little excited for. I know I, like many people who have watched these two shows, have always wondered how the characters would interact if they met each other. Something about Bliss just being loud and vulgar while Charlie's trying to contain him in her nicest way possible just works, you know? And when you introduce characters like Luna and Baggy and Moxie and Husk, it just makes you think, how would these characters interact with each other? I'm sure it's gonna be hilarious. Now the other bit of news that was officially put out in this announcement is that Hazbin Hotel is confirmed for a season 3 and 4, which in all honesty really shouldn't even be considered news. I mean, this information has been floating around literally before season 1 even aired, which just kind of always confused me how Prime just had so much faith in this series. Like, don't get me wrong, I love it. It was one of the biggest shows of 2020 2024, but they were talking about a season 2 and 3 was confirmed before season 1 even dropped. And something else that I've always wondered is that the pacing in Hazbin Hotel is horrendous. Like, season 1 of Hazbin Hotel went by at just a rapid speed, and a lot of people, myself included, that were watching the show episode by episode, week by week, thought, okay, well, maybe it's like this because they didn't think they were going to get another season, so they tried to cram everything into just one. But then more and more information comes out saying that it was already confirmed for multiple seasons, so I'm just wondering, why was the pacing so bad? Even when you compare it to the sister show Helluva Boss, the pacing in Helluva Boss is way better than Hazbin Hotel. Even though I think Helluva Boss has way worse writing, the pacing is nowhere near as fast as Hazbin Hotel. I don't know, that's just something that always confused me. And look, I was happy for the news that Hazbin Hotel is confirmed for a season 3, season 4. I feel like this series could go a long way if they make a couple tweaks. And of course, I love making videos about this show, so I would love to see it run for a long time. But I was kind of disappointed because, not to be that guy, where is the info about season 2? I swear throughout the entire 3-minute video, season 2 of Hazbin Hotel was not mentioned one time. And genuinely, outside of a couple things, there have been no updates on season 2's production. There is no official release date. The best you could find online is a release window, with May of this year being the earliest. But even that doesn't really mean anything because the show could still be coming later. And look, I get it, we know.
Animation takes a long time.
But the thing is, I'm not asking for season 2 to be released next week. All I'm asking for is an update. Can we get an official update on the official update video? Because it doesn't really make much sense to talk about season 3 and 4 when we haven't even got to season 2 yet. And I've seen a couple people say that they're probably shying away from talking about season 2 because of the leak situation that happened a little while ago. And if you don't know what I'm talking about 5 months ago, there was a massive leak situation where a bunch of scenes, scripts, and storyboards from Hazbin Hotel season 2 was just leaked online onto TikTok, onto YouTube, onto basically everywhere. And it wasn't little stuff, it was songs, it was massive plot points. There was literally a 9-minute heaven scene just floating around on the internet for days. And if that's why they're being quiet about things, I guess I can understand that. But realistically, unless they're about to just completely change up the story for season 2 and reanimate all those scenes, I don't really see how the leak situation could affect all that much, especially because even though some major plot points were revealed, it doesn't really give you a grasp of like what's going on in season 2. It's really just a bunch of random moments. And look, like I said, take your time with it. Nobody's asking for season 2 to drop next week, or at least I'm not. But at the same time, is it too much to ask for an update saying, hey, production's going good, we should be wrapping up soon, or production's gonna last a little longer? Like, is that too much to ask for? Am I being greedy here? Y'all let me know. But other than that, that was pretty much everything covered in this new announcement video. Gotta say, in only 3 minutes, the Hellaverse got a whole lot more interesting. So interesting to the point where I think I might start making videos on Helluva Boss again. I know, what a crazy world we're living in. But let me know, what do y'all think about these announcements? Do y'all think Helluva Boss going to Prime is a good or bad thing? Let me know in the comments. And what do y'all think about the little to no information about Hazbin Hotel season 2? Do y'all think that's a bad sign, or do y'all think they're cooking over at Spindlehorse and I need to just relax? If you made it to the end, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and until then, it's been your boy Corin, and I'm off this.